Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. We're starting out at my favorite thrift store, or one of my favorite local places that I like to go. You've come with me before. And we're starting out in the little baggies this time. My name is Liz and I am a part-time reseller in Maryland. And I try to come here about once a week. Sometimes I get to go more, and this was a different day and time for me. And I can't wait to see some of the things I found. I had some nice surprises, so stay tuned for those. And if you don't want to miss out on surprise finds in the future, I highly recommend that you click that little subscribe button. And if you like the content you're seeing, I would love for you to click that thumbs up as well. So I did have a few little things that caught my eye in these baggies, but I confess that I'm kind of chomping at the bit when I get in the door at the store, and I don't quite have the patience for the baggies. And I'm sure some of you do have that patience, and I really respect that. I wish I did. I think I should probably circle back to the baggies when I've calmed down a little bit, towards the end of the sprint. But I kind of run in the door. Of course, I ran in the door to the Steins and the dolls, which don't tend to be incredibly rewarding and maybe not even that stimulating at this particular store. But I was checking out some of these figurines, and I actually thought this one was kind of pretty. It didn't seem to be made by any company that would stand out, and she was nicely done, but I don't know if I would describe her as high quality. So she stayed there with her friends instead of coming home with me, and we're just hoping that my dog barks when he's outside today as I do your voiceover for you. They have the music really loud at the store, and so it's really impossible for me to keep the actual background noise. So I've turned the corner, and I thought these little French plaques were really cool. I'm relearning French. I was sort of fluent when I was younger, but they were resin, and they really weren't the type of vintage item that I normally pick up. But they did have some other cute things, and I've never bought one of these before, but one of my favorite YouTubers, the Commonwealth Picker, always grabs these, and I wonder, does Kayla, the homeschooling picker, can you guys leave me a comment? Does she pick those up too? I didn't have a way to test it. I figured it was worth a shot, and those cool catfish are worth $35 to $55. My husband's an engineer, so he might be able to fix it if it's not functioning perfectly. And I've been having good luck with those little Mexican dishes, so I picked that up. They're about $15 to $25. Now, I have been selling a ton of these floral frogs lately, but I will say that the glass ones, if they say made in France, that seems to be better for me. I also think that the domed ones with different sized holes are actually better for floral arrangements. Now, I am not a florist. I'm not great with plants, but my family has had a flower shop for almost 100 years, so I'm going to pretend that I know something. I don't, actually. That guy creeped me out in sort of a good way. So, yeah, this is one of my favorite sections of the store normally. Wait a minute, hold on. Does anyone know what this is? I feel like I should know what this is. It reminds me of something you'd put a candle on, but then it doesn't really make sense, and I feel like I've lost a memory that I need recovered. Can you guys help me out in the comments and help me feel like I've got my memory back? I do not know what that little plate was for. It was actually really pretty, kind of like arts and crafts, Art Nouveau vibe, but I can't say even if it were meant for a candle that I would have good luck selling it. Now this mug caught my eye, and sometimes I'm more persistent and I will ask them to put a price tag on things. But for some reason, it makes me wacko when there's no price tag and they won't sell it. And I put it back. Let me know if you think I made a mistake. Did you recognize that moose mug or the signature? Now, I took this little trinket box. It kind of had like a quilted look to it for a ride, but it had a lot of wear. And I did comp it out. And I think the one I found using Google Lens sold for $11. And I didn't feel like it was going to pay me for my time. So I ended up not taking that home with me. But it went for a nice long ride. I love art tiles, and this one was really beautiful. Now, maybe I missed it, but I couldn't see a name. I believe I actually did try Google Lens to see if they made more than one of these. And I ended up leaving it behind, but I wonder, should I have kept that? Maybe people who collect lighthouses, look how cute that carrot plate is. It had several chips, and I don't tend to forgive chips too easily. That was interesting, but I'm not sure it was worth a lot. And I took these little bluebirds, or whatever kind of birds they are, this little stained glass piece, along with me, and then I forgot I had them. When I edited the cart, they were way in the bottom, so they did come home with me. I don't think they have a ton of resale value, but I think I'll make $10. Now, I wanted to show you these cigar boxes. They caught my eye because they had dovetailed corners or edges, as you can see. And I did use Google Lens on them, and I found some that were like $25 or $30 each. But when I went back and I was looking over the footage, I found some that were much less expensive. So I still think they'll sell at the booth. I don't know how vintage they are. Maybe you know more than I do, and you can leave me a comment. Now, these Baccarat candlesticks had so much damage, but they were beautiful. They had that like clear, almost acrylic glass look, which is why I picked them up in the first place. The glass was so clear and so heavy. I put them back. It's probably just as well. I believe they're called Orosite. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. When I comped them out in the store, they were worth like, I don't know, like $150. And when I comped them out looking at the footage, it was like $30. So I'm glad I left them behind. But I still had a little bit of remorse because they were just so pretty. And I don't know what someone did to them. Here I am in the single mugs. This is really cute. And cat stuff sells in my booth really well. I'm about to get bumped from behind by a shopper who is even more eager than I am. So pardon this camera work. I was trying to make my entire body and cart smaller to allow this very assertive and industrious buyer to barge past me and almost knock me into all the glassware. So this mug did catch my eye, and if only I knew someone special named Joe who loved Disney, I would have picked it up. The cat was Opal House, so I left it behind because the market's probably flooded. I think Opal House is associated with Target. I think I learned that from Lavender Clothesline, but I did pick up this little Dracula mug because I figure for $10 during spooky season, sure. Now this Greek vase was kind of like a ceramic, but almost like chalkware, and I agonized over it. I kept getting mixed results when I was comping it out. It stayed behind because the edge wasn't just chipped, it was sort of like chipping off, almost like chalkware. Now these mugs I comped out in the store. I think it said Vince and Vivant, which I meant to look up what those are in French. I'm not far enough along in my Duolingo course, but they were about $30 each, so I think it was a few dollars for the pair, so I picked those up. I do like mugs, even the single ones. If they're rich and single, it's even better. Just kidding, I'm happily married, but I can't resist a joke. So I had passed up these other beautiful plates, and then I picked up those Temporama plates, and I couldn't resist because people are always looking for that pattern. They break a few. Couldn't help myself. The mid-century modern pals, you know, they were kind of like whispering in my ear to grab those, so I did. It was only a few dollars. And those dinner plates aren't that huge either, so not too bad to ship. I bought this creamer because you can never have too many Brittany Spaniel creamers from Germany. I'm pretending that I'm going to use that every day for my coffee. Now, this was one of the stars of the show. I've had some nice mid-century modern bowls before and some large ones. This one has got to be 16 inches across. Of course, it's Dansk, fantastic. And I just loved this bowl. Now, I don't know if you're serving from this, if it's a console piece. Let me know in the comments what you have seen a bowl like that used for. And look at this embroidered sort of Kelly style bag, mid-century. I do believe this is true vintage. That's probably a $25 to $65 piece. Now here I'm going to show you a few pieces I actually picked up, I think for myself. And if I change my mind, they'll go in the booth. These shoes are probably about $40. The Geox Respira, I'm not sure if I'm even pronouncing that right. I just like the look. Another really cool bag. Look at that loose side at the top. This was a ModCloth skirt. This is probably $55, brand new. Loved it. And some clogs. I bought a few other things. I do want to thank you guys for joining us. Please consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss out on future videos. I appreciate having you here, and I encourage you to never stop searching. I'll see you guys next time.